how are you? I'm Vivian. Welcome to Notes Well Taken. It's been months since I posted. My intention with this particular video is just to catch everyone up and let you know my thoughts going forward and hopefully get some input on what you guys would like to see. I think this won't take too long, but I'm afraid to say that because whenever I do the video it ends up being very long. So we'll see how we go. Well, we're not even halfway through the year and already so much has happened. I sometimes wonder, like, I inadvertently sort of have a subscription to the phrase, when it rains, it pours. And, yeah, I just feel like my life sometimes runs through that phrase a lot. And when something big or definitely out of the ordinary happens with myself or my family, we tend to experience 2 or 3 of something within the same vein. Until we get back to normal. So the thing that's been out of the ordinary for us this year is traveling. So my family and I are definitely homebodies, but this year we have traveled twice. So firstly, we went to Disneyland for my father's everything. Just all of his celebrations rolled into one. Birthday, anniversary, Father's Day, all of that. And then my younger sisters and I went to Italy to celebrate our youngest sister graduating with her master's degree. So yeah, here we are at the beginning of June, and I think we've managed to pack more into this one year than we've experienced in the last decade. Just a lot of adventure so far, I guess, this year. Our Disneyland trip was the end of February and just into March. And it was really fun to go and have my dad really enjoy himself. He was really insistent on wanting to actually go while he was still young enough to ride the rides and walk around all day. And we know he enjoyed himself because we weren't home for very long before he already started to mention that he'd definitely be up to planning another trip. Just not waiting another 10 years to go. So that's good to know that he really liked it. And then Italy was the end of May, and we spent about 2 weeks starting in Rome, moving down to the Amalfi Coast, and then ending in Sicily. So only the youngest of the family, the 3 of us went. And I think it's probably safe to say that we're some of the most nervous or anxious of the bunch. So there were definitely some kind of stressful moments and days, but overall I think I'm just mostly very proud of us that we went and we tried and we ended up learning a lot, and we have some takeaways about what we would do differently next time. So we knew before even going on the trip that we tend to be the type of people who are stressed about the trip before we go, stressed during the trip, but then when we get back home we enjoy reminiscing about the trip once we're home. So I guess that's okay. We really have genuinely a lot of lovely memories, and there were a lot of things that happened in the moment that we really did enjoy. And it's fun to be home now in the safety of your home and in the comfort of your home, to really look back and think about some of our favorite moments, some things that we learned, some of the cool places we saw, things that we expected to really end up loving, but then we ended up not really liking those as well, or vice versa, things that we didn't think we would like as well, but they ended up being some of our favorite things. So, I don't know, I guess, and maybe it's because I took The Secret of NIMH, Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of NIMH, that book. I took that book because it's one I like, and I knew that if I had time to read, I'd want something that was familiar. So maybe that's why this feels like we kind of feel like mice coming back to the burrow, and now that you're in your burrow you feel safe and you can chitter and about all the things that happened. So maybe that's why that analogy comes to mind, because that's the book I took on the trip. But we definitely, even on the trip, were joking about, I think they're called trapdoor spiders, that they have a little home that has a little trapdoor. They'll go out and get food and come back. And we would feel that way on the trip. Once we'd get back to the hotel and we were kind of like, oh, you could breathe, we feel safe, everything's good. And then we could be like, oh, that was good. Or maybe we should try this next time. Or this thing was cool. Or maybe let's not do that again. So even while we were on the trip, we would do that. We'd get back to the hotel and it was like we could have time to breathe. And I think that's just kind of how we are. Definitely homebodies, and having a safe space to come back to and like breathe for a bit was good. But going forward, my hope is that I have a few ideas for videos, but if you guys have any preferences, I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see or not see. So with Disneyland and Italy, I'm thinking I have enough footage that I could do separate videos for both of those. And I also want to create journal pages for both of those trips. I did purchase this traveler's journal from Moterm to take to Italy, and I didn't finish, I'm not anywhere near done, but this was definitely we did this, then this, then this, with like a few little pieces of ephemera mixed in. I am maybe on like day 2, so I didn't get very far, but I did get a chance to start putting in some pictures and being able to print out some things from the trip, and that was really fun to be able to like actually have physical copies of pictures to put in in this. So like I said, I'm definitely nowhere near. I'm probably on like day 1 or 2 of our entire trip. So it would be nice to do a video where I go through this. But I guess the question is, do you guys want a video where it's finished, or a video where I'm working on it and when it's finished? Because I definitely have a lot more to go, and I would like to do maybe not exactly like this for Disneyland, but like I'm thinking about an A5 size and create some journal pages or things like memory pages for like an A5 size. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, I guess the question is, would you prefer a finished video with everything done, or do you like a video of like the creation and trying to figure out how I'm going to make those work and like actually building out the pages? And then I also have this very slim A5 that I took for the trip that I'd be happy to talk about, like an Italy trip, not just like the footage of being there, but things that we learned and like things that we took that we really loved. But it was nice to have our itinerary and like things that we were doing, as well as this zipper A5 came with pockets that we could slip ephemera into, and anything that we wanted to keep I could just slip inside here. So there's full pages and then half pages, and then it also came with sticker release paper from that we could put stuff in. This ended up being super helpful on the trip. I really ended up loving this one quite a bit. But yeah, if you'd like a video of like things that I've purchased for the trip and what I ended up using or didn't use, or how maybe I would use it differently going forward. So there's a few things that I was thinking about. And then I also have my planner and I need to update it. I'm about, let me see how far, I think I'm like a month behind. So we're about here. And then I'm actually really proud of myself. I did pretty good leading up to the trip. But this is during the trip and then back home. And I was super jet lagged, so I didn't get a ton of things done, and like my sleep schedule was really wackadoo, and I was up during weird times and wanted to sleep during weird times. So I feel like I'm finally getting back to a normal sleep schedule. So the question is, would doing a video where I go through and like actually update all these pages, is that interesting, or is it better to have a finished journal? Because the reality of how I use this planner is I can be really on top of it, and then like I miss days or miss a week, and then I have to go through and update. So the reality is that I'm not consistently, it's not perfect every day. The reality is that I do have times like this where I have to go back through and refill out pages so that they're recorded. And then I also have pages from December 21st. I don't need all of those pages in here, so I could do a video where I update and then remove some pages, put them in an archive, just all of that. And then like these pages should have cobwebs in them because it's been so long since I've opened so many of these so, like these sides. So it'd be nice to kind of get back into it now that I'm home and I don't really have anything planned now. So the question is, do you like a finished video of everything done? Or do you like the nitty gritty of me trying to get it caught up? Which I'm happy to do either. I also have been, I got myself a new journal cover for my birthday, which is at the end of this month. So would it be good to do a video where I'm switching things out? Because I think I want to change it for this summer to do the new planner cover. So would that be a good video that you'd like to see, or like talk about some of the newer pieces that I've gotten and how I'm liking them, or how I hope to use them, or maybe needing suggestions on how to use them now that I'm not traveling? So that's a few ideas. I also, oh my goodness, I almost forgot about this. I also got a new journal bag, and when I got that, it was kind of sandwiched in between the 2 trips, and I haven't had a chance to like fully dive in and use it and get it all set up. So I think it would be fun to do a video where I finish getting it all set up and talk about the bag and actually start using it and have it be very functional. But I'm actually so excited about this new journal bag that I got. And now that I'm home and I am going to get back into a routine and I can be close to home and I'm not worried about my bag getting stolen in a foreign country, which like nothing like that happened to us. Everything was fine, but I didn't want to take it just in case. So I think that video might be fun with just like some of my new journal stuff as well as that journal bag. And there's also just been this overwhelming feeling of, now that we're home, I'm so ecstatic to be home. And I find myself just really appreciating so many things that I've taken for granted before both of the trips. So I think in an effort to really hold on to that feeling, I'd like to make a video capturing moments that make me love home, or what I love about being home. And just, I guess, really romanticizing just the simplicity of your own life, and how you can find a lot of joy and really, really love the place where you're from. Like, traveling is great and going and seeing things is lovely, but like, what am I doing to appreciate being at home? So I think there's a few ideas of what I'd like to do for that. So overall, just like, there are definitely some videos in the chamber, kind of rolling around in there. I do have to be a little bit careful with my computer, because every time I try to use my video editing software, it kind of slows it down and I'm having a hard time getting it back to where it was. I've definitely tried troubleshooting a few things, and some things work, some things don't. So there is like that little bit of a hindrance on there, but I'm trying to take it slow. I'm trying to take it easy for my computer, but I would like to get to a place where I'm more consistently uploading, since during the summer, I don't have a lot of plans, and I'm hoping to get back into a routine now that I'm back home. But yeah, if there's anything that you'd like to see or not see, or if like a catching up video on my journal would be good, or if it's just better to see it once it's done. If you would like to see a hodgepodge video of either trip, would it be better to have it with music or to be voiced over, a little bit of both, and then have, clips of the trip mixed in with like journaling clips? Or is it better to separate the journaling and like clips of the actual trip? Part of me kind of leans towards having the trip be separate and then having like journaling stuff be its own video as well. But yeah, if you have any preferences on any of that, or anything that you would be excited to see, let me know. I'm very happy to, do voiceovers, or if you prefer to have it be quiet, if you like videos, because I love videos on in the background. And sometimes it's nice to have music, but other times I really enjoy having people talk and having that on in the background. And sometimes I fully watch the videos, and then once I've watched them, then I have them on in the background. So yeah, just let me know what you guys prefer. And I will start working on trying to take all those ideas that are just rolling around in my head and kind of figure out how to do them in a chronological, or just like a more organized way. But mostly I just wanted to stop in and say hi. So sorry for taking so long. I don't see anything in the future, for the rest of this year at least, where we're gonna have a big big trips or anything that's out of our ordinary. So I'm really hoping I can get back onto a schedule and be a little, not even a little more. I would like to be more consistent. So overall, just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a very lovely, lovely day, and just take care of yourself and everyone around you. And hopefully it's not too long before we see each other again. Thanks. Bye. Thank you.